This time it's time to look at angles of elevation and depression. So there are two different ways that we can label angles. So if I'm labeling angles, this is an angle of elevation because it goes up. So it's always up from the horizontal. Okay, so depression, however, is exactly what it sounds like. It's down. So it's down from the horizontal, but it's never inside the triangle. So if I draw this, it's actually always this angle here because it is from the horizontal. So if you were thinking of like a person up here looking down from the line of sight, this is the horizontal line and you're looking down at the point. So from here to here, this is the angle of depression. It's not actually inside the triangle. But with our knowledge of stuff from earlier, again, these are right angled triangles, what do we know about these two angles here? These are alternate interior, right? So what do we know about alternate interior angles? They're equal, which means the angle of depression is going to be the same as the angle of elevation, right? Because we've got these two alternate interior angles if these are parallel lines, right? So these have to be parallel lines. Okay, so let's look at an example of that. So let's say that I've got a guy over here and he's looking up at this beautiful big tree. Yes, I know, my drawings are amazing. Thank you very much. So if I want to know the angle of elevation from the guy to the tree, I'm just going to make a little triangle here. Right? This is my triangle. I want to know this angle in here because I want to know the angle looking up to the tree. Let's say that I knew he was standing 10 meters away from the tree and I knew that the tree was 5 meters high. And I want to know what the angle of elevation is. So what I'm going to do is say, which pieces of information do I have? I have the opposite and I have the adjacent. So should I use sine, cos, or tan? Well, according to this, I have the opposite and the adjacent, so I should be using tan. So what I'm going to do is say tan of the angle is the opposite, which is 5, over the adjacent, which is 10. And then whenever I'm finding an unknown angle, I'm always using the inverse. And then I type that into a calculator. The inverse tan of 5 over 10 is 26.57. All right, so let's have these ones aren't too difficult, right? It's a bit of a description thing, but as long as you're always looking up, it's not so bad. It's the angle of depression that tends to trip people up. Okay, so let's say that there is a cliff, right? There's a guy on a cliff and there's his friend on a boat. Ta-da! They're saying goodbye. All right, so let's have some fish in the ocean, shall we? Yeah, I can't draw. All right, so what I want to know is the angle of depression from the guy to his friend in the boat. So if I'm going to make a little triangle out of this, this is going to be my triangle, right? This is my right angle. So if I'm asking for the angle of depression from this guy to this guy, what I'm actually looking for is this angle in here, which we know is the same as that angle here. Now, obviously, this is not enough information to solve it. So let's say that I said the guy was already 60 meters out to sea. Right? So he's already 60 meters out to sea. And he was standing on a cliff that's 22 meters high. So what information do I have? Well, this here. So if this is my angle, so I could work out what I could do. There are different ways to do this. I can work out this angle here. This is my beta symbol just because I don't, look, obviously these are different angles, so I can't use the same symbol. I could work out this angle and then subtract it from 90, right? Because this here is clearly a right angle. Or I could just work out this angle and understand that these two angles are the same. So I don't care which way you do it, both will get you the right answer. Let's do both. So I'm going to do the blue one first, okay? I'm going to find the angle of elevation from the guy to the boat to the cliff, because that will be the same as the angle of depression. So what information do I have? I have, actually, I'll just stick with blue for that one. So this one here is the adjacent, and this one here is the opposite. So tan, right? Because I have the opposite and the adjacent, no hypotenuse. Tan of the angle is the opposite over the adjacent. So then I'm finding an unknown angle, so I use the inverse. And then I type that into my calculator. I get the inverse of tan of 22 over 60, and I get 20.14. Now let's do this version. Okay, so if I wanted to work out this, again, I'm still using tan because I'm not using my hypotenuse, but I'm going to say tan of beta is, this time this one is my opposite, isn't it? Because this is my angle, so I'm going over here. So I'm going to say it is 60 over 22 this time. So then this is obviously my inverse tan of 60 over 22. So I type that in. My inverse tan of 60 over 22 is 69.86. But then I have to subtract that from 90, right? Because I want what's left here. I want to get rid of this bit. So if I do 90 minus 69.86, oh, look at that. I get 20.14, which is exactly what I had over here. So either way, you'll get the same answer. It really doesn't matter which way you do it. Just always know that the angle of elevation is looking up and the angle of depression is looking down. Okay? Elevation up, depression down. All right, let me know if you got questions.